And, you know, if we have a CFO who we paid to move here, don't know him, but he's left us. Did we get reimbursed for his payment? I mean, we got people making tons of money. We could have hired NSAs all summer, all year for what we're paying some of these people to do. And hopefully they'll get us out of the boat we're in. I understand. We need transparency. We've lived here. We don't need kept in the dark. So Amen. Call us in and let us help you or whatever we can do. But when I hear through the grapevine this or that, my mom's telling me this or that, that's not right. You know, we deserve better.
Ed, will you do the pledge and then we pray, please?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads. Lord Jesus, we thank you for all the blessings we have. We thank you for this hospital. Thank you for this community. Thank you for all that we see out here tonight. And Lord, we ask that you be with us and help us. Help us to be able to keep this hospital running. Help us, Lord, and give us the wisdom, the direction, the guidance, and help us, Lord, to be strong enough to make the tough decisions. Lord, we ask that you be with us in all the things, and we thank you again for all that you do. This we pray in your holy name, our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, they're in the basement.
Down there.
You see Carva?
Hey, Fred.
You can have a seat if you want.
I'm okay for now.
Okay.
They're on here. They're on the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
it's going to be us.
Okay, well, we're going to start off first with the election of officers, and then after that, we'll do the agenda, approving the minutes, and then we'll go on to visitor comments. Anyway, so we'll start with the chairman, and then go to the secretary, and then.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to nominate Ben Roberts for chair.
Are there any other nominations for chair?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to nominate Mary Rankin.
Okay. Any other nominations? Do both Ben and Mary, are you both willing to have your names in?
I do, yes.
No, because we don't know.
Madam Chair, if I might make a comment, Mary, I honestly think that you would be a wonderful chair, but watching you chair at the last meeting, I thought for certain that you would hate it. So I apologize for making an assumption, but that was.
Okay, so not sure quite how to do this.
Madam Chair, I make a motion on this for Chairman Sings.
All those in favor of nomination C, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. How do we?
Right there.
Mary declined, I can't.
Very declined.
Okay, I had to get back here to. Okay.
Okay, I wasn't sure that you actually declined. Okay. Okay, so all those in favor of Ben Roberts for chair, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same. Okay, so Ben is chair. I will, turn it over to him and he can finish the rest of this. But, I would like, before I lose my chairperson, I just want to thank you guys as a group. I want to thank you guys for coming. I thank you for hearing about what's happening in our manor. We as a board, we as administration, or not we as administration, but the board, the administration, the employees, nobody wants rather than sit or dirty or wet. We don't want that. But we also care too, we want a hospital for when our kids cut their hands and need stitches. We want a hospital for when we not fall off four-wheeler or wreck the four-wheeler and need patched up and sent somewhere else. We want a hospital when we get a horse wreck. I mean, and we want the manor to be here when, heaven forbid, our kids are deciding whether or not we need to be in the manor. And so we have a lot of hard decisions to make. And in those decisions, we need to do what's best for the residents, but we also need to do what's best for the community. And the only way we're going to manage that is if we work together as a team. Both the community and the hospital and the board and the employees, and we have to do it together. We cannot continue to spend $150,000 a month on travelers. We can't survive doing that. And so somehow we got to figure out how to do this, and we need to all be working together to do it. And when you guys get your time to have visitor comment, hopefully we will settle it, each person will have a few minutes to talk. And then I really encourage all of you guys to stay here and listen, because Pat's going to talk about how we're working things, how we're doing things, and we need you guys to stay and listen. So anyway, thank you very much, and I'm going to turn it over to Ben.
First of all, do you need me to use this?
Yes.
Yes, we did that.
Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you to Anne for being our chair for the past 2 years. You have been a wonderful chair, and we appreciate your guidance, and thank you for stepping up.
Nice. I second that. Also, thank you, Ann, for your service to the community. Also, thank you, board, for voting for me as chair. I appreciate it greatly. We have the next nomination that will be for secretary. And I'll start it out by putting nominations for Mary Rankin to continue in her position as secretary. Anybody like to second?
I was second. Ardently. Mary does a great job.
Second then. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor is Mary Rankin remaining as our secretary, say aye.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, you should ask for other nominations.
Oh, yes. Do we have any other nominations? Thank you. I appreciate it.
Put the mic up closer.
What's that?
Can't hear you.
Okay. How's that? Better? Okay. Any other nominations? Let's go ahead then. All those in favor of Mayor Rankin remaining as secretary? Say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. It passes. Thank you, Mary. Next is treasurer. I would like to, again, I'll start out with nominating that we keep Carrie in her position as treasurer. So I will nominate her for that position. Is there any other nomination? All right. Can I get a
Can I
second?
ask a question? Who's treasurer before?
As far as I know, Carrie's been on this position on this board as treasurer the whole time I've been here. Carrie, who's there?
Yeah.
Leanne Carnegie. She's no longer on the board.
Aren't half problems money?
That's a good portion of our problem, yes.
Just ask.
She's not the CFO, Tony.
Okay,
So the CFO is the one that oversees all the money. Carrie is the treasurer for the board.
so in other words, the buck stops with CFO. And that's where the buck's probably been going.
Okay, so.
Tony, we'll get to this in a minute.
I am.
So I'd ask you to let us get finished with this administrative stuff and we'll get to this, all right? So I have, I'm looking for a second for Carrie in the position.
I second.
Okay, Dottie seconds it. So all those in favor of, or is this any discussion? Do we have any discussion? All those in favor of Carrie Dross retaining her position as treasurer, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Passes. All right. So now we'll move on to additions, changes to the agenda as written. Do we have any discussion or any changes to the existing agenda?
Add committee appointments to, I move that we add committee appointments to the agenda, probably right there after minutes and before visitor comments.
Is there any discussion on that?
Oh, I probably need a second.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Mary seconds it. All those in favor of approving the agenda as is and adding right after this agenda discussion, adding the committee appointments to that. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
Is the May 9th, is that the correct date for the minutes? You need to add May 11th and the 9th, along with the rest of them.
Oh, got that.
We didn't get through, say, 11 minutes.
Do we not have the mail? Okay.
You didn't be short.
So we're gonna drop the May 11th off of the agenda?
You know, she's got 2 minutes to read them out loud.
Go ahead and do that, yeah, right?
I have a copy.
In addition to the weekly printed version of the newsletter journal, we also promote our community and share important information on our award-winning website, newslj.com, and in our weekly email newsletter, Nuke Now. We also connect with readers through various social media platforms and invite you to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can even take a look at a recent meeting of the City Council, School Board, or County Commission on our YouTube channel. We do hope that you will go to newslj.com and subscribe today, and we look forward to making all of our great content available to you. But regardless of your level of support, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for doing your part to preserve a free and independent local press.
We can just read it when we get to elder petition.
I believe we have a motion to, I'm looking for a motion to put the agenda. With the addition of, committee appointments right after this on the May 11th. Approval of minutes instead of May 9th.
Mr. Chairman, I second.
Second?
Second.
Second by James. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes with the two changes, say aye. I'm sorry, yeah, the agenda. Good job. Agenda with the two changes, say aye. All those opposed say same. Okay, it passes. We'll move on quickly to committee appointments. And presently, we have 5 committees to fill: quality, finance, med staff, foundation, governance. Under quality, I've got myself. Mary, would you like to stay on the quality? Okay. I'd like to appoint Ann Slagle to be on quality. Take my position there. Finance is Carrie, Ted, and myself. I'd like to ask James to take my position on, James Burrows to take my position on finance. And I haven't talked to everybody, but to see if they would keep Dottie as med staff and foundation. Do we have any discussion on that?
Yeah, did you want to trade or no?
It's up to anybody. Happy where I'm at. I'm glad to. Dottie would be an asset on finance too. Very, very big asset on finance. So if you're wanting to take finance. Okay.
So you would be on med staff, is that all right?
That is fine if that's all right with chairman. I think our rules say that the chairman gets to appoint, so that's kind of the chairman works.
So what was the move? I didn't catch it, sorry.
Finance.
Dottie.
Are you stay on foundation?
So we can have a motion on the committees. Quality will be Mary Rankin and Ann Slagle. Finance will be Carrie Frost, Dottie Silty. Let's get that wrong. And James Burrows. Med staff will be Ted, and Dottie will stay on foundation. And as we know, governance is already pre-selected as chair, secretary, plus one.
Somebody else will need to be on that.
We kind of rotated in. Oh, that's right.
No, we were, William and Mary and I were cooking.
I'm looking for a motion to approve the committees.
I make a motion to approve the committees.
Makes the motion, second,
I'll second it.
and seconds. Any discussion before we vote? All those in favor of the committee makeup as read, aye. All those opposed, same. Passes. All right, so approval of the agenda. Done, so we'll go move on to the minutes. Approval of the minutes for the, I'm assuming everybody's had a chance to read through the 3 sets of minutes. We have April 23rd this year, May 6th of this year, May 11th, we're going to read right now. Right.
Okay, President, or Ann, this was a special board meeting, May 11th, 2026. President Ann Slagle, Mary Rankin, Carrie Drost, Ben Roberts, via Zoom, Dottie Silty, Ted Erdman, James Burrow. Also present, Allison Gee, Patricia Ryan, Kim Scharf, Rebecca Mock, Trissa Linford, Donalda Bennett, John Haberly, Steve Pashadi, and a visitor of Tony Shoecroft. We called the meeting to order at 5:30. A quorum was declared. Ted led in the allegiance. Mary gave the opening prayer. There were no visitor comments. James Burrow moved to accept Kathy Harshberger's resignation. Ben Roberts seconded. No discussion. Motion carried. Dottie Silty moved to appoint Pat Ryan as interim CEO. James Burrow seconded. Comments were made thanking Kathy for helping the hospital through a tough time and sincerely thanking her for her dedication during the last 2 years. Ann Slagle also said she was grateful to Pat Ryan for returning to Weston County Health Services. Motion passed. Carrie Drost motion to go into executive session under 16-4-405A to consider the appointment, employment, right to practice, or dismissal of a public officer, professional person, or employee, and 9, to consider or receive any information classified as confidential by law, including attorney-client privileged communication, quality information, and trade secrets. Ben Roberts seconded. There was no discussion. Motion carried. Regular session resumed at 6:43. When the regular session resumed, trustees listened to and answered questions from the community member, Tony Shoecroft. He stated this town cannot afford to lose this hospital and clinic. The trustees invited him to hear the strategic plan at the next meeting on Thursday, May 21st, 2026 at 5:30. Carrie Drost motion to accept the contract with Pat Ryan as CEO under the terms discussed in the executive session. I should probably say interim CEO. Under the terms discussed in executive session with Healthcare Realty and Results LLC with Principal Pat Ryan. Ted Urban seconded. No discussion. Motion carried. Ann Slagle motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:58. Ben Roberts seconded. And motion carried. So the only thing that I see is that it should have said interim CEO as far as Pat.
No other changes to that? Okay, so I'll take a motion to approve the April 23rd, May 6th, and May 11th of red. With one change of interim to it. Gary moves, provides the motion. One for second.
Second.
Ted for the second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. The minutes are approved for those 3 dates. Okay, again, moving quickly here. As we move into visitor comments, I'd like to begin myself. First of all, we do have some things to state to you related to how we're going to do this. I'll get to that in a minute. But I would like to start out by providing a little bit of statement myself. First of all, I appreciate everybody who's attending today and the care that you have in this hospital. Very important, and it says a lot about this community, and I appreciate that greatly. One thing I would like to make sure that everybody understands, we're in a dire situation. Okay, this is not a situation where we have a lot of leniency or leeway or ability to make anything but the tough choices. This is not a situation of the nice to haves. This is decisions related to the survival of this hospital for many, many reasons. And I'm going to go through a little bit of that. First of all, rural healthcare in this nation is failing miserably. 15 hospitals last year. This year, estimated could be in the hundreds of rural hospitals that are failing. Reasons for that: Medicaid, Medicare, billing, the time it takes to turn revenue into cash, the time that it takes to get that done by itself is a challenge. And then on top of that, you have the fact that we get paid over minimum amounts or lesser amounts for the amount that's billed. Also, something that's unique for this community, more so than any other hospital, according to our experts that we have. We run with about 40% self-pay in this hospital. And out of that self-pay, it takes us 90 to 120 days to get 30% of what is owed. So right off the bat, even if we had everything running as we wanted, we're fighting an uphill battle for those issues. Not to say it can't be done, of course it can be. But these are the things that we're faced with even when things are running smoothly. And that's true for hospitals around the nation. Also, we can't lose track of the fact and I hate to say it, but we have our own elected officials in Cheyenne who are withholding funds that were intended for rural hospitals, trying to come up with ways to determine how it's going to be divvied out. That money was directed through the big beautiful bill to come down to rural hospitals, and it's stuck in Cheyenne. So with that, I would state, as a member of this community, I know what I'm doing. I'm writing my elected officials and saying, you guys need to get off and forward with this money so we can use it for things that needs to be intended. So those are the situation we're in. Also, excuse me, we can't lose track of the fact that this has come from many, many years mismanagement. Not this board, not this leadership. This board and this leadership has been fighting a battle for the 2 years I've been here, trying to right the ship. And this has not been done except for mismanagement up to this point. And that mismanagement looks like bad decisions being made for lack of information that they had. And the primary thing there has been a lack of financials. I've been in many organizations and I've never seen one try to run without knowing what the bottom line is and what the financial situation is. And that's what this hospital did for many, many years, trying to get forward, not knowing exactly how much money is being spent, where it's being spent, who's spending it. And so we are just coming to the point within the last couple of months getting actual true financials, thanks to the work of our finance committee, thanks for the work of our CFO that we currently have. Those things are being corrected, so we finally can look at and can finally measure the things that need to be measured. And I have to address this before we get the questions started, because I've seen it. A lot of people have sent me the controversy over our choosing to have an interim CEO and to have an interim CEO who makes the money amounts been put all over. So I'll say it, $9,000 a week. Our interim CEO who provides us also consulting. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat that was something that we had to do. We look at that number and we say, oh my, that's a lot of money. Of course it is. But we also know that in this dire situation, we're looking for the best way to get out of it. And the best way for us to get out of it, just like if you were very ill, you're going to go to the best doctor you can possibly find, and you're going to spend the necessary money to get the health care, the diagnosis, the treatment that you need. If you're in a legal situation, you're going to go out and get the best lawyer you can possibly get, and you're going to spend the money necessary to try to get the legal situation handled. This is the same thing we have done in the decision we've made to try to find a way. Our expert, she is an expert, and you're going to hear from her very shortly. She's an expert in rural healthcare, and she's provided a way forward that absolutely spells that out, painful as it might seem. So those things I wanted to say before we get started. Okay, so let me go through the rules here.
When life gets tough, you don't have to face it alone. Call 988 for confidential, free support 24/7.
Okay, so let me go through the rules here. And I have this in writing if anybody needs it. If anybody wants it, please ask, okay? We ask that, first of all, that you please raise your hand and I will call upon you as the chairman. I would ask that you stand and share your name. If we need to pass around the microphone. Speakers are allotted 3 minutes to address the board. The board will accept any written comments, statements. Okay, microphone. Thank you. So written statements from any respective speakers. If you'd like us to address something that can't be covered in 3 minutes, you can get that to us and we will look at it and address it at a later date. Speakers will address the entire board. Will refrain from expressing complaints about specific individuals. This is in accordance with open meeting laws that protect the privacy of employees. And then all speakers are expected, of course, to conduct themselves with decorum and civility. Again, if you need that in writing, I've got it here. All right, I'm done. Let's go ahead and move to public comment. What's that? Oh yes, timekeeper. Ed, would you mind being our timekeeper 3 minutes? And please do not feel bad if he has to interrupt you and stop you, mainly because of interest of time. Okay.
She lives in
One more thing I would like to say, we're not going to address each statement individually. Okay, we're going to wait and the CEO, our interim CEO is going to address things as when she has a chance to provide. Okay, I'm sorry, I interrupted. Please state your name.
Carla Winland. I am the resident of the Manor, and I'm also their president of their resident committee. A lot of people are worried about the Manor and if it's going to survive because of all the budget cuts. Right now, with all the budget cuts, the letting go of personnel has been a little bit frightening for a lot of us. And it hurts. They feel neglected because they're not getting care very fast. A lot of them are sitting on toilets for an hour or longer. And when I first came in, I was in a wheelchair. And I know what that's like, to sit there and wait for somebody to come and wait on you. So, that's what I'm afraid of too. And the CNAs have too many duties, and that's why we're getting long periods of time for a fellow. The hospital and Manor, I understand, are intertwined. So like budget and everything kind of gets intertwined, and I understand that. I'm just curious as to why the CFO is in Pennsylvania and not here. That's one a few others wanted to know about. And that's all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Kathy Jones. Do you need it? Do I need it? Okay. Ollie, I thought I had a beautiful. My mom has lived at the Manor for 4 years.
Close.
And she's 100 years old. She's your oldest resident. July 3rd, she'll be 101. And I am concerned about her care. I'm here 3 to 4 times a week. I see the neglect because there isn't enough workers. There just is not. The restorative therapist can't get to all of them because she's got 3 jobs. The activities can't do the activities because there isn't time because they have 3 jobs. There are people that come and volunteer. I'll be volunteering for bingo tomorrow, but I'll also be taking my mom to the restroom and so I can get her down to play bingo. And I do that every time I'm here. I don't ask the CNAs to do that. I do because they're too busy. They're too busy with other people that are more needy. And I'm not saying my mom's not needy, but I just don't, I do want to know, I want you to know that I don't think you're in federal compliance. If you look at what the federal rule is, regulated instead of the state is on a ratio. The federal is on hours. So there has to have, the nurse has to, you have 3.48 minutes, 3 hours and 48 minutes to care for 1 patient all day. That's not being done. And 55 minutes for a nurse and 2.45, 2 hours and 45 minutes for a nurse's aide. So that's not happening. So you're not in compliance with the federal rules. Now, you can be cited if you don't have that. I don't think you want that. You want to try and fix that here. I don't understand how, I get what you're saying about the CEO and the $9,000, but if you let 11 people go, 11, that's too many. That's too many to let go. You've got to have those little high school girls jumped around and did all kinds of things and people loved having them there and they worked hard and they loved it. And now they're gone. And I just don't understand. I don't understand. And I don't understand how come a doctor at the clinic got upset because of somebody said something wrong. I don't even know who that is, so I'm not going to mention. who that was. Did you do that?
No, it's time, I'm sorry.
Oh, all right.
Yes, that's up to the chair, up to the chair.
Can I yield my 3 minutes, sir? Okay, all right. And all the workers are doing more than 3 jobs, most of them. And I just think that's wrong. I'd like to address Karen. 6 months ago, you marched the billing people out the front door with a policeman standing by the door like they were criminals. That was not necessary. This is a small town with people that love them, and I don't think that should have been done. Not that way. You could have just taken them and said, look, you're not gonna be working here anymore and you're gonna have to leave. But you didn't have to have a policeman sitting outside like they were criminals. And I went to Ken's office and I asked her what was going on about that they were short, and she said, no, we're in compliance. Well, if you look at federal law, they are not. Yeah, so
One thing that Ben mentioned is that we aren't gonna call out specific.
oh, all right, okay, so, all right, anyway, I asked a person employed, and she said that they got rid of the NSAs because they were not dependable, wasn't showing up, and that is not true. I've been in this building many times at lunchtime. I've eaten with my mother. They're scrambling. I went here on Mother's Day to eat. It took my husband and I an hour to get food, an hour. And some people were eating cold food because you cannot serve that many people, feed that many people. You just can't. One of the people was drinking her yogurt. It's like, that's not helping someone with one hand. You gotta back up just a little. You gotta hire some more people. You just got it. It's for their care. And they're old and some of them are just disabled. You know? Anyway, I'm done. But I can give you this piece of paper. I got that. Anybody else? Oh, yeah, I mean,
Do you wanna go? I'll let the families go first.
Yeah.
I'll go last.
Kathy? Kathy?
Kathy, you can put that piece of paper right
oh, yeah, here, I'll just give you several. Without- Then you'll have it. Well, that's not a very good type because I do it at the library. I was fighting the computer. Yes, go on.
Go ahead.
I'm Danette Price. My mother's the Manor. And I have a lot of the same issues, you know. I know you're trying hard, but I'm there every day feeding my mom lunch. And they're scrambling. You say sometimes it's 45 minutes to an hour for them to get their food, yet I'm at the same table with the ones that can't feed themselves. And their food's sitting there for half an hour before somebody finally has time to sit down and feed them. And sometimes it's 1 or 2 persons or 1 person in the whole cafeteria trying to cook. And we've caught in my mom's room several times, a couple times with her and her roommate, just left on the toilet 20, 30 minutes. I've seen them shocked in their face. Oh, she's still in the bathroom. I mean, they just get too busy and strung out. And my mom doesn't sit up straight. You know, she shouldn't be left alone. So just a lot of and today, when my brother showed up, she was still in the same position that she should be rearranged out in the room where I left her. I mean, it's just daily care that these guys are running. You don't even see anybody because there's no extra help to even see it.
Thank you.
Takes 2 to run a week, and that's 18 people.
Hi, I'm Dwight Dixon. My mom's in the Manor. Just like to say thank you for guys taking the time to address all this. The community does need this place. One of the things that I've heard over the years, even lately, is that employees aren't allowed to complain, or I don't know if it's bring up suggestions or what, but I would say that those are your eyes and ears, them employees. There needs to be an open door policy, unless you already have it, that they're able to bring anything to you at any time so that you can address it. And that's all I have to say. Those are your eyes and your ears. So if you don't already have something like that, any healthy organization has to have something like that for your employees to bring up stuff that you can address. And not be afraid of their job is the main thing. So that's all I have.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vicki Heyman, and we're a sixth generation family in this county. We have a big investment here. We have a mom who is now in the Manor, unfortunately. I've had several incidents, and I'm not very happy with the care she's received lately. So one time I came, they put her in the restroom. I waited 20 minutes. I finally had to go to the restroom myself. I left, I went home. So I didn't spend any time with her that day. I've also had a phone call where she was given a shot that she should not have been given. To me, that is not a very good policy, and there probably could be some legal action against it, which I have not decided to do.
Yeah, if moderate Republicans are their dislike for Freedom Caucus is enough that they'll actually vote for a Democrat. I mean, there is that potential.
Yeah, it's just because to me, you know, and I watch all of these public meetings, and you don't see the moderates at the meetings.
No.
You don't see those people that sit on the middle of the fence at the meetings. They're not passionate enough about anything to show up to the meetings, to stand on a podium and say something. You have to be extremely passionate about politics to be willing to put yourself out there and to be judged in that sense. And I don't think you see the people that ride the middle of the fence doing that because they ride the middle of the fence. So they're like, I really don't care either way. It doesn't impact my life directly. I'm not planning on getting an abortion. So why do I care about what the abortion law is? Like, I don't own a bunch of land, so property tax doesn't hurt my feelings. Like, I think there's a lot of those people, the young people in Wyoming.
The other day, she told me that she was left all night in her chair, never got put to bed. That's pitiful, you guys. I don't know what we spend, $10,000 a month, whatever.
Yes.
You know, and we come, and there's 3 of us here in Newcastle. We come in probably 3, 4, 5 times a week, as much as we can. We try to take turns. That is not how I want my mother cared for that price. I expect more out of our county, and these people, I've talked to them, they're working hard and they're tired, and I understand, and I don't blame them, but they are short-staffed, and we need to do something to help the people, and especially the residents. I know Carla, she's been in my classes from Extension. Pat, I knew her children when we all went to school together. They deserve better than that, you guys. And, you know, if we have a CFO who we paid to move here, don't know him, but he's left us. Did we get reimbursed for his payment? I mean, we got people making tons of money. We could have hired NSAs all summer, all year for what we're paying some of these people to do. And hopefully they'll get us out of the boat we're in. I understand. We need transparency. We've lived here. We don't need kept in the dark. So call us in and let us help you or whatever we can do. But when I hear through the grapevine this or that, my mom's telling me this or that, that's not right. You know, we deserve better.
I'm Lana Love. My mom's Jones or Jelly. I have went in and looked for her, and she's in the bathroom. She asked me, "Can you get me a clock?" And I said, "Yeah. Why do you need a clock, Mom?" "Well, so I know how long I've been sitting here. There was one on the wall, but they shut the door, so now I can't see the clock. I'm going to go get her a clock." Her legs were numb, and she's now in a lift. She can't get up and down by herself anymore. I found her in her chair, soiled, wet, not being checked on. They forget to go get her for lunch. They forget to go get her for dinner. And like we said, the other night, they didn't put her to bed. So she was in her chair, and that's also, we need to get her a new chair. They don't fix her hair. They don't brush her hair. I've taken her brushes and they end up with roommates, which that's fine. I don't mind. But my mom used to get her hair fixed every single week by Maxine Groner. It was something she was proud of. Her hair always looked nice. And now I go in and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, let's fix your hair. And she's like, thank you, thank you. I roll her down to get her nails done. That makes her feel so good. But now you've let go of all the high school girls that she so enjoyed. Loved every one of them. They made her day. They come in with their prom dresses. They come in when they graduate. I mean, those young gals make her happy. This back row of people, I can't say how much they have done for her. Jetty is awesome. Her sister is awesome. I mean, Amy is awesome. And I don't want to see this hospital go. And I don't want to see my mom go. So would you guys please try to find a fix? I don't know what it is, but I'm like my sister. You need help, call us. We're a pretty big family out in Clariton. We will come in and we will do what we can do. Because we love our family. And we love this town. We've been here our whole lives. I've known the Rankins, I know the Ertmans, I know the Slagos, Dottie and the Silties. You know, it's like, they're our family. Norma, Jim was my dad's best friend. I mean, we're all touched. And Pat, I watched her kids grow up, you know, grew up with them. And a lot of the residents, I walk in and I say hi to probably 10 people sitting around. Connie, every day I walk by, I say hello to Connie. She might not know me anymore, but I know her. I know what she did for our community. So please help us. Please do what you can. We'll help you. Just let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Norma Shelton. I've sat on this board many years. I know how hard it is, but today I'm not happy. My husband's in the Manor, can walk. I have timed the help, and it's not their fault, but I watched the residents wait for 24 minutes, if not 30, to be taken to the bathroom. Now, what do you think happened to him? Just what happens to my husband. They have to change his clothes. He's not able to take care of himself. I'm asking you, how many of you visited the Manor recently? Please go down the halls. Tell these people that work there how much you appreciate them and quit. Just help us out.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tony Sheepcraft. A lot of y'all probably know me whether you want to or not. But what I'm seeing here, and I've owned a couple of businesses in town that enjoyed a modicum of success. And what I see is gross mismanagement. I don't know how all this, I don't know how it works. I don't know how it happened, but I do know this. Somebody needs to get their head out of their butt and get things figured out. Now, a lot of times, people in positions of authority kind of get big head and think they're somebody. And I don't know, but I'm just guessing that might have something to do with why all these kids were let go. And it sounds to me like them kids were doing a pretty good job. And now I don't know who or what did. I don't care. I'm just telling you, this is how it is, folks. we need to get this figured out. And I have a suggestion. I don't know how feasible it is, but for the interim, until you guys get this squared away, why can't we as a community come forth and volunteer?
We do.
Solicit volunteers from the
They do every
community.
day.
I was, what?
We do, but there's only so much.
I understand that, and I get it, you're here, but I mean, make a conscious effort to solicit the community to get involved. And exercise a little transparency. Let's let everybody know what's going on. If it's bad news, well, let us know. We're big boys and girls. We can handle it. Tell us what we need to know, and maybe we can do something. Who knows? If we have to have some kind of a drive to raise funds, maybe we could do that. I don't know. There's a lot of, pray about it. And yeah, you guys, a lot of folks come and volunteer and give their time and make an effort. I know you people work your butts off. I know that. I've been here. I've had people in the hospital.
Tony, I'm sorry, that's your 3 minutes.
All right. Well,
Thank you, I do appreciate it.
that's all I needed to say anyway.
Appreciate it.
I have time for we'll be rambling on.
Actually, I'm gonna ask my husband to read this to me, and my emotions are gonna get the best of me. I have a copy if anybody would like one, with the NSA termination letter and then what's being told if you guys would like the copy.
My name is John Schofield. I'm gonna read this letter on behalf of my wife, Julie. To the members of the board, my name is Julie Schofield. I'm speaking today as both an employee of Weston County Health Services and as the mother of 2 former employees, Bailey and Brooklyn Binshaw, who worked in the long-term care department as nutrition support aides. Before I continue, I want to state openly that I have concerns about retaliation for speaking publicly regarding these issues. However, the current circumstances have become too serious to remain silent. On May 1st, 2026, Bailey, Brooklyn, and the remaining NSAs were terminated after Weston County Health Services dissolved the NSA program. The official separation documents provided by Weston County Health Services clearly stated that the termination was part of a strategic restructuring and that the elimination of these positions was in no way a reflection of the employees' dedication, work ethic, or value to the organization. Our family accepted that explanation professionally and respectfully. However, since that time, multiple staff members and residents, family members have informed us that members of the administration have stated that the NSAs were terminated because they were unreliable, undependable, and frequently called in absent. We have told that these statements were made openly at nursing stations and other common areas and in conversations with employees and the family members. These statements directly contradict the hospital's Weston County Health Services official documentation. Several witnesses have independently reported hearing the same narrative, and their names can be made available upon request. In a small community like ours, statements that damage the character and the reputation of young employees have long-lasting personal and professional consequences. Bailey and Brooklyn worked hard. They cared deeply for their residents and they took pride in their responsibilities. Brooklyn had even begun an internship program through her school in coordination with this facility, only to have the program dissolved before she could complete it, leaving her educational plans unsupported and disrupted. What's even more concerning is the condition of the long-term care department since these decisions were made. Families, staff, and community members have expressed serious concerns regarding understaffing, inadequate resident care, meals not being delivered appropriately, and vulnerable residents receiving the attention that they deserve. Whether every report is fully accurate or not, The level of concern being expressed by staff members, family, and community members should be deeply concerning to this board. This situation is no longer simply about eliminating a program. It's about accountability, honesty, professionalism, and the protection of both residents and employees. Hospitals and healthcare facilities should hold themselves to the highest standards of integrity. Spreading statements that contradict official employment records reflects poorly not only on leadership, but also the organization's credibility and professionalism as a whole. I respectfully ask that the board investigate the contradictory statements being made regarding former NSA staffs, current staffing and resident care conditions within the long-term care, whether employees are being discouraged or intimidated from speaking openly about concerns, and the impact that these administrative decisions are having on the resident safety, staff, morale, and public trust. The residents of this facility deserve the dignity, compassion, and proper care. Employees, both current and former, deserve honesty, professionalism, and respect. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, John.
Yes.
Your resignation letter there as well. And they all have the same sense. Or not resignation, termination.
This place is full of love. You can tell the people that like to be with old people because they really take care of you good and are very kind.
Twice a day, every day, the activities people have an organized activity that's always interesting.
Everybody loves to play bingo. We play it 3 times a week here. We also have ceramics that you can paint. Really pleasant to live here. It's a good place to be.
Hello, my name is Jessie Boehner. I've been a CNA at Weston County Health Service since January 2017. And it says, dear board members of the board, before I begin, I want to candidly share that I am nervous to speak due to a fear of potential retaliation. However, my dedication to the safety and well-being of residents and coworkers outweighs the hesitation, and I trust the board values open and honest communication. It is with this trust that I must bring forward my deep concerns regarding the severe work overload facing our staff at WCH Manor, which is directly risking our residents' well-being and leading to staff burnout. We have during the day, there's 3 aides on the floor. At night, there's 2 aides on the floor. We have 19 residents who require 2 per mechanical lifts. So as you can imagine, it can make things difficult at times. We have a deep commitment to our residents. We take great pride in providing high quality care. The current workload volume is severely impacting our ability to maintain these standards. The delay in meeting basic needs has led to noticeable frustration and behavioral distress among the residents. We are deeply concerned that these conditions compromise resident safety and prevent us from delivering the level of care that they truly deserve. We love the work we do here, but the frequency of being texted or called every day, if not every other day, due to staffing changes, schedule alterations combined with misalignment between performance expectations and available staffing resources, is pushing the staff toward burnout. Full-time staff are asking to go part-time, part-time staff are asking to go PRN, and we are being told those positions are not available. We know our limitations, and yet we are still willing to stay employed at WCHS and just asking to take a step back. We are being told that that is not an option. WCHS has created a level of chronic exhaustion that is becoming no longer manageable for most of their employees. To truly understand the gravity of these changes, I invite the board to come to the facility. I observe 1 full day shift along with 1 full night shift, weekday along with a weekend, unannounced. so that you may firsthand see what is residents and employees are facing on a day-to-day task. In conclusion, the intersection of severe concern for resident safety, staff burnout, and workload demands require urgent attention. I hope and truly hope that you as a board will review not only my concerns, but everyone's concerns that you've heard here tonight and take the necessary steps to restore a safe, supportive environment for our residents, especially, and our staff also.
Thank you. Is there any other comments?
I have my home vision.
Have one.
Oh,
You started there.
One second.
My name is Sue Morales. I'm an LPN and I am PRN at the Manor, and I just recently came back, and I'm wondering why. It's because one of the reasons is because I love the residents, and I just wanted to tell you that I am concerned about the staffing, the number of aides on the floor. This staffing is what we are currently working with is what we would have considered working short in the past. Now, when there is a call off, we are at dangerously low staffing levels, and we've had the director of nursing and the assistant director of nursing coming in to fill those positions, and I'm sure they're getting tired of it as well. This low staffing has and will continue to affect patient safety, customer and family satisfaction, quality of care for the residents, and worker burnout. There have already been a number of nurses and aides that have put in their 2-week notice, and I think that we should cut costs, and it's important that we do that. But eliminating the staff that are giving direct care to our patients and the residents is not the place to make those cuts. That is what I have a letter that I had from permission from a traveling nurse in her exit letter. She said, due to unforeseen events that have happened in the facility since my extension was signed, I feel it is in my best interest to leave. I don't think practicing as a nurse under recent circumstances where the staff has been reduced to 1 nurse for 50 plus residents, our census has changed since then, and only 2 aides for 42 plus residents, and no med aide is safe or ethical. We have several residents with dementia and behaviors that take a lot of care. And so she goes on to say that I do not feel that I would be able to provide the care that these residents need and deserve. I do not want to risk something happening that I could lose my license. So we are having less positions, and we're losing people to fill those positions. So even if we open up and say, okay, we're going to have more aides and more nurses on the floor, we don't have those people at this time to fill those because they've already decided I don't want to work here. So please, this is an important place. We don't want to cut costs.
Thank you, sir.
After hearing a lot of these people stand up for us residents, I just want to say that I have heard that some of the higher echelon, if you will, are receiving 6-figure salaries. I have worked for companies that have had some budget problems, and those people take a cut in their salary. And I'd like to see that here, because that gives money back. I don't encourage traveling nurses, whatever, because of the cost. Cost is very extreme. I was an employee of Monument, and I saw those sort of things going on. I also am a little disgusted that the CFO is in Pennsylvania and not here. He told our resident council that he could get us donations because he had contacts, and he said that he could help us raise money so that we resident council can do what they needed to do. But I want to tell you one little quick story. I know that a resident is not supposed to help another resident. However, when you hear somebody yelling about 11:30 at night, you hear this, help, help. And I went to that resident because I thought, what, maybe they fell, maybe I could get down further quicker than anyone else. There were no CNAs. There was not a nurse. I looked in the hallways. I looked at the nurse's station. I went back to this lady. All she wanted to do was go to the bathroom. I went in and I helped her to the toilet, managed to get on herself and everything else. Then I heard her say, I need white. And I thought, look back out in the hallway, nothing. It was silent. So I got myself some gloves on and I helped her. She then got in her wheelchair and said, I'm really tired. I want to go to bed. She'd been staying up all this time trying to wait for somebody. And I said, well, I can't really change you or anything else. You know, you're closed. So you're going to have to go to bed in your clothes and just wait. I had turned on the light, the call light, hoping that somebody would see this. And apparently not, because one of the employees the next morning said, it's been crazy last night. They even put a resident to bed in their clothes, or they let them go to sleep in their clothes. And I personally, it makes me emotional when I see fellow residents treated this way. I consider myself to be a lucky person because I have most of my faculties. I am able to walk with a walker. I'm able to get around. And I can help people. But I'm told I'm not supposed to.
That's your 3 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Anyone else?
Any other comments?
I know I had my 3
She
minutes.
said you have hers.
Oh, go for it. I just want to thank all of you for your hard work.
Yes.
And restorative therapy, and without you, some people wouldn't be able to hear. She wouldn't be able to walk.
I'm sorry, but the CFO in question sounds like a player to me.
Tony,
Con man.
Tony does not make accusations.
Well, whatever. Let's call a spade a spade.
Let's go ahead and move on, please. Any other comments?
Oh, Amy, please do.
Anyway, I just wanted to explain.
Can you say your name, please? I'm sorry.
Amy Benson, I'm the restorative aide. We have 19 mechanical lifts that we use at the nursing home. And we're required to have 2 people with every transfer for those lifts. And that takes a lot of time for every transfer. And some of them we don't use to because we just can't. But there's some that takes 2 or 3 people sometimes. And it's very time consuming. So that does take them off the floor. And so they're just not as available. And we do have somebody that it takes usually 3 people to get him in the lift. And he's not always very agreeable. But, you know, it does take 3 of us. And so that ties up the whole staff. So there's just a lot of things, you know, and then with not having the NSA, you know, we really wish we hadn't let all of them go. You know, we would have had at least one for breakfast and somebody on the weekends. It would have helped a lot. Because now, you know, I'm either helping with breakfast or else I'm getting people up in the morning. And I may not start. If I do restorative 2 or 3 hours a day, that's about all I get done. Because I'm helping every other place. As are the nurses. I know you were helping in the unit like all day. Because we got 4 lifts in there. You know, and it's just a lot. We just have a very heavy workload with some of these residents. And But, you know, we got office staff, they're helping. They're helping on the floor, they're helping in the dining room. They're not getting their work done, and we're all just running everywhere. Anyway, I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
In listening to all of this, I am just horrified.
Can you
How do you, oh, Betty Petronic, I'm sorry. I'm horrified at what I'm hearing. So how do you justify a CEO at that cost and take all of the help away from the residents and the patients, and the nurses need help in it? My question, how do you justify it?
Thank you. Any other comments?
I just want to say that I want to be the first to put my name on the list of volunteers. You might not want me to be a volunteer, because you might not want to see what's going on.
Thank you, Tim. Okay. Appreciate everybody. I'll say it again. Appreciate everybody's attendance. I appreciate everybody's conversation, the discussion, and your concerns. I absolutely do appreciate it. So we're going to move on and try to address those. I'm sorry. One more comment?
I'm Vicki Heyman, and I hear we have a plan. I would like to hear from our interim CEO. What is the plan? I haven't heard anything, but maybe you guys have heard the plan. I don't know what our plan is.
Vicki, we're going to do that.
Okay, thank you. I
We're gonna
appreciate it.
We're going to move into reports from each one of the sections, and then we'll get to the CEO report. So yes, you will get that. Let's start with quality.